camera, action, paparazzi, cameras flashing, diamond dancing, head to toe, high fashion. Lights, camera, action, paparazzi, cameras flashing, diamond dancing, head to toe, high fashion. Cal Walker, red copper walker, beauty pageants, cover shoes. Cal Walker.
On March 7, 2019, a man driving with his kids along a remote area near Lake Mead came up on an abandoned car with a rock thrown through the window and decided he should let authorities know. When authorities arrived on the scene, they noticed the 2017 Mercedes-Benz with a California license high-centered on a bank of dirt at the side of the road. The officers smelled a foul odor coming from the vehicle. Both windows were rolled down on the vehicle, so they reached through the window to start the car and then popped the trunk, where they assumed the smell was coming from. After opening the trunk, an overwhelming odor filled the air, and they noticed bedding and clothing in the trunk. As they pushed some items out of the way, they were able to see a human body part. This is when the corpse of 71-year-old psychologist Thomas Bouchard was found in the trunk, and the mystery would begin of what happened to the doctor. They did not imagine it would lead them straight to a former Playboy model. Come join me in the Murder She Said for this true crime case that involves the sexual relationship of a 71-year-old man, a 24-year-old Playboy model, her mom, and thousands of dollars. My name is Holly, and this is the place we honor the dead, right from my She Shed, where we discuss new cases and rarely heard true crime cases, usually 2 times weekly. And I started a new TikTok and Facebook page, so if you could support a sister out by following me, it would be so greatly appreciated. I'm dropping the links in the comments below. At the time of this case, Kelsey Turner was a 24-year-old former Playboy model originally from Jonesboro, Arkansas. In 2017, she also appeared on the cover of 110 magazine and also Conceited magazine. In an interview with Playboy, Kelsey said, "I love emotions and fun. I live my life fully aware that it is the only one I have." But yet, she decided to waste it. She also said that she likes having people to talk to and that most of the guys she has met while modeling are losers. When asked about sex, she stated, "Take the time to heat the oven. No one would put lasagna in the oven at 200 degrees. As you can see from Kelsey's Facebook page, she was bottle blonde, that high maintenance, and partied, lived her life, well, on her looks. It was all about looks and social media, where she posted picture after picture and video after video. Well, she needed money to lead that high maintenance lifestyle, to dress nice, to look nice. So she met a man online named Dr. Thomas Bouchard. She needed a sugar daddy to support all of this she was trying to achieve. And she also had 2 small children. The doctor often talked with young women online, and unfortunately, that is how he would meet Kelsey. Tom, as his friends would often call him, grew up in Boston, where his late father taught architecture at Harvard, then moved to Virginia when his dad took a job as the founding dean of Virginia Tech's College of Architecture and Urban Studies. After attending medical school and realizing he wanted to be a child psychiatrist, Tom had residency at some of the country's top hospitals, but he finally landed at the Community Hospital of the Monterey Peninsula, where he stayed for 40 years. He worked there for so long that he had begun seeing the children of the children he once treated. Bouchard loved his job, and although he never had any of his own, he loved kids. He loved performing magic tricks for them. He was a member of Los Angeles Magic Castle. His patients made a perfect audience. For the younger kids, he'd make handkerchiefs disappear. For the older ones, he had turned $1 bills into $100 bills. Bouchard would tell them to stay in school so that one day they'd be able to earn their own $100 bills. Sometimes, if the kids could name the person pictured on the bill, he'd give it to them. So you could say he had the money and he was generous with it, but he had rather spend it on others than himself. In the early 2000s, he met a woman 12 years younger than him named Judy Earp. Judy fell for him quickly and moved to Salina, California to be with the doctor. Judy stated he would pay for things his patients needed but couldn't afford, like textbooks or medicine. He was extremely generous. If he saw somebody in need, he would literally give them the shirt off of his back. Judy would say his generosity is what killed him. According to Judy, BURCHARD liked to help sad women, in particular single mothers on the verge of homelessness, drug addicts, or prostitutes, or on the way to becoming that. He often told Judy he wanted to help them turn their lives around. His ex-wife had divorced the doctor because she felt that it was just more than him wanting to help these women out. He would talk with women online that had suggestive screen names, his ex-wife would say, and then go meet them, eventually giving considerable sums of money to these women. But none was like Kelsey. He grew an obsession for her, and she eventually would con him out of thousands and thousands of his dollars. The doctor ended up leasing a home for her in Salina, and she lived there with her children and also her mother. He also bought Kelsey a BMW convertible. After a couple of years of Kelsey continually wanting money from him, he grew very tired of her demands and decided to cut her off. Kelsey made various serious threats against him and warned that she might go to the police with information if he cut her off. According to Judy, these threats involved the doctor behaving improperly with children, and since he was a child psychologist, this was a huge threat to his career. Whether Kelsey's information was real or invented, BURCHARD was too afraid and embarrassed to go to the police. When Kelsey decided to move to Las Vegas with her 4-year-old son at the end of 2018, BURCHARD paid for her to leave town. Despite her threats, Kelsey stirred up sympathy in BURCHARD. Soon after leaving, she told him she was sick and couldn't work or afford to care for her son, the one child she still had custody of. Also, she told him that her boyfriend was abusing her. BURCHARD wanted to help, so he decided to fly to Vegas, telling Judy he wanted to see for himself if Turner was telling the truth. Judy begged the doctor not to go. She felt bad vibes about the situation. He didn't listen. The doctor was determined to go see Kelsey. On March 1st, when he arrived at Turner's place, a 2-story stucco home in a perfect, nice suburban neighborhood, and found a full house of people. On the top floor, Turner shared the master bedroom with her 27-year-old boyfriend, John KENNISON. Her son's bedroom was also on the second floor, along with her roommate, Diana Pena's room. Another roommate, Jeremy Esrich, slept downstairs. All these people were living at the house that the doctor was paying rent for because he had never stopped due to the threats Kelsey continued to make against him. The fighting began on March 2nd when the roommate, Jeremy's girlfriend, showed up at the house, apparently drunk, and began chatting up our doctor. Kelsey was not happy with this behavior. She became enraged when the woman and BURCHARD decided to go to the store together. She allegedly screamed at Jeremy, accusing his girlfriend, who was also young and blonde, of trying to take BURCHARD away from her. I find it strange that Jeremy let his girlfriend go with this older man alone in this vehicle. Maybe he wanted to get a part of that sugar daddy action. I'm not sure, but kind of weird. This is when Kelsey's mother comes into the picture. No yo mom jokes are inserted here, but it does get strange. Apparently, later that night, Kelsey found sexual messages and nude photos of her mom on the doctor's phone. The house that they were renting before, her mom stayed in it with Kelsey. So apparently, yeah, he got to know both of them a little too closely maybe. But that's not the only nude pictures he had on there. They were saying he had a lot of young women's pictures. Kelsey lost it, threatening once again to get him fired. Then BURCHARD began freaking out. He shut himself in her son's bedroom upstairs, slamming the door behind him. Kelsey had a friend come get her son and take him from the house. After hearing the door slam, Kelsey's boyfriend, KENNISON, kicked down the door of the room that the doctor was staying in and attacked him with a baseball bat. Diana, who was the other roommate, raced upstairs to see what was going on. She found BURCHARD sporting a large red and purple bruise on his temple. She took the bat away from KENNISON, who retreated downstairs with Kelsey. Diana then gave BURCHARD a glass of water. The doctor walked downstairs and told them he needed to be taken to the hospital. And then he climbed in the back seat of Kelsey's Mercedes-Benz. He told them if anyone at the hospital asked, he'd tell them he had got mugged. But as Kelsey and KENNISON remained inside the house, BURCHARD became convinced Turner would probably kill him. Diana was sitting in the car with him, trying to keep him from passing out. And he was saying, "They're going to kill me." But she didn't think that could be true at all about her roommates. When Kelsey finally came out to the garage, she ordered Diana to start cleaning upstairs. There were dirty clothes everywhere and blood from the fight had spilled onto her son's bed. She told her, "Go get my son's bed cleaned up." She didn't want her son to come home to blood all over his bed. What a great mother she is. Kelsey offered to take BURCHARD to the hospital, but in a little bit after everything was straightened up. But BURCHARD refused to go back inside the house. He figured if he went back in that house, he would never leave alive. After Diana went back in to clean, this is when she heard Kelsey tell her boyfriend to knock Thomas out. Diana decided she should go back downstairs to try to keep the peace, but after she came down the stairs, Kelsey told her it was too late. Diana saw KENNISON emerge from the garage holding a gun covered in blood. Diana panicked and began crying. She didn't know what else to do, so she just started cleaning. Diana stayed at her boyfriend's house that night along with Kelsey and her son. The next day, they returned to the house to clean up some more of the mess, then checked into a motel. KENNISON joined them. For the next few nights, they bounced around between friends' houses and another motel. In the hotel trash, authorities found BURCHARD's credit card information. What I didn't tell you is BURCHARD was showing early signs of dementia, and he often would carry like his PIN number and credit card information in the pocket of his shirt. And this was the information that they found in this trash. Kelsey offered a man $20 to clean up red stains in the Vegas home. She also asked him to repair a door that had been broken in half and torn off the hinges. The cleaner thought the red stains were wine, not blood. Kelsey paid for the new door with the doctor's credit card, although the door was not replaced prior to authorities entering the house. Inside the house, they found a blue and white striped towel, which was a match to the towel that they had found with the doctor's body in the trunk of the car. The garage smelled strongly of ammonia where they had attempted to clean it all up. The blood evidence inside of Kelsey's car, which she had never reported missing, was blue latex gloves with blood on them, fingerprints, the doctor's keys and vest, and of course his body in the trunk. They also were able to find traces of DNA. They found evidence of an attempt to set a fire. They would also say that they believed his murder did happen in the back seat of that car, that KENNISON had come out there and beat him so badly. The autopsy showed that the doctor had died from blunt force trauma to the head. Bruises, cuts, and scrapes zigzagged across his face, neck, arms, and upper chest. Part of his ear was missing. Judy wanted to fly to Vegas to be sure it was really him, to see for herself what she had been imagining since he disappeared. The funeral home told her not to come. They couldn't do any restoration on his face. They told her that he was green and blue. They strongly discouraged it, so she didn't go. She didn't need the coroner to tell her that he had been tortured. She knew that his death had not been quick. Kelsey was pregnant again when she was arrested. And I find it interesting that every time we see her in the court, She's got a smirk and smiles on her face, like she's having the time of her life. Found that kind of weird. I guess she's a attention whore, so she was enjoying all that. Kennison was sentenced to 18 to 45 years for second-degree murder. Diana Pena pleaded guilty to a reduced accessory charge in exchange for testifying. She will testify against Kelsey on January 10, 2023. Kelsey took an Alford plea to second-degree murder instead of pleading guilty. Kelsey is acknowledging there is enough evidence for a conviction. Basically, there was so much evidence that she could not plead not guilty because, even though she don't want to admit it, she was guilty as sin. In exchange, she will be eligible for parole in 10 years. Kelsey could receive anywhere from 10 to 25 years in prison. Kelsey has went from Playboy Bunny to Bad Barbie. Apparently, while in prison, she has started an Instagram fan page called Kelsey Turner Bad Barbie, and also an apparel company. As all Barbies do, Bad Barbie has plans for the future. She knows that if found guilty, the time served will be substantial, but her visions have taken this into account. Business opportunities abound, even from behind bars, and one of her main plans is to continue promoting her clothing business. The Playboy Bunny stating when she is released from prison, she wanted to get into modeling again. I'm sorry to be the first to break it to you, honey, that nope, that ain't happening because Barbie will be showing her age by then. Not to mention that bad Barbie reputation. Well, guys, thanks for joining me at the Murder She Said, and let me add that all parties are innocent until proven otherwise in the court of law. Even bad Barbies. Well, love y'all. Now, if you want to watch, here are me and Simon's bloopers. Bye. After opening the trunk, I don't know, 24-year-old Playboy model, her mom, trying not to insert a yo mom joke here, just has that vibe. Playboy model from Jonesboro. God dang it. There goes that little squirrel getting stuff out there. I need to give him some more food. He knocked it all out. It's ruined. Kelsey stirred up sympathy. I cannot say that word for some reason. Judy begged the doctor not to go. She felt bad vibes about the situation. Judy. We're going to have to be blind to ignore the fact that a 70-year-old man giving 20-year-old women all this money, there's something going on. Judy obviously doesn't know about or don't want to think about because she acts like he's innocent on her interviews. Will be substantial. What's substantial? Oh my God. Apparently, while in prison, she has... What was that? Got a frog in my throat. Not to mention that bad Barbie reputation. Oh my goodness gracious. Speaking of Barbies, I remember in the 80s as a child, I was in the Tractor Supply store with my mom and my cousin that was 2 years older than me. Don't ask me why Tractor Supply had a Barbie record, but I seen it and I knew I must have it. It's like a light shined off of that record, aimed right at me like that is something I must have in my life. You know, kind of like in Christmas Story and the guy had to have the leg lamp. Well, I felt this. I felt something real deep for this record and I asked my mom for it. My mom said, no, I'm not paying $15 for that record. And I said, Mom, please, please, please. And so we go off through the store. And then when I failed, I laid down on the ground right in the middle of the store and just started having the biggest temper fit you ever seen. My cousin looked at me like, you done lost your mind and you mama fixing to get a switch off of a tree is all you're getting. My mama, she was looking terrified. She was looking all around the store and she was looking at me like, and I never seen your crazy self acting this crazy. And then she looked around to make sure she didn't see no one from the Baptist church that might see me looking like the devil. She said, get your butt off that ground. So I seen that tactic was failing, so I was going to go to Plan C. Plan C always seemed to work with my mom, and that was if I could act retarded and make her laugh. So it's basically Act so retarded, my mom will feel sorry for me method. The record happened to be called Sing Along with Barbie, and I said, Mom, how are my Barbies going to learn how to sing if I don't bring this record home to teach them how to sing these songs? They're never going to learn. I mean, how's a Barbie to learn without a little help? My mom then looked down at me with pity in her eyes, or maybe just like, how did I have such a stupid child? I'm not sure. But then she said, all right, get it. Let's go. Don't ask for another dang thing till Christmas. I grabbed the record, looked at my cousin, and smiled. When we got home, me and my cousin put on the record and jammed. She said, you gotta teach me how to do that. My cousin was utterly amazed. I think I was her hero from that day on. That's the story of another crazy day in my life. I was a little special child. I think it's a little, maybe a little special adult. I'm not, yeah, I probably am a little special. It's too cold to be acting like a butthole. Who's acting like a butthole? Butthole boy. Say bye. Oh, you're gonna knock my computer. Yeah, just typical me again. Come in here. Oh, time is fine. You're here. Bye, bye, everybody. Say, we love y'all. My microphone's laying on the floor. Probably not hearing anything I'm saying, but your buttholes today. Your buttholes. Bye. See y'all later.
Lights, camera, action, paparazzi, cameras flashing, diamond dancing, head to toe, high fashion. Lights, camera, action, paparazzi, cameras flashing, diamond dancing, head to toe, high fashion.